Today I want to have a look at the release candidate for Linux Lite 8. This has been a distribution which I have recommended over the years, and I was about to do a video saying, I don't know, man, we got to see what happens when this actually comes out, because I had downloaded the RC1 when it was first announced and didn't get a chance to look at the distribution for it. And I came in here today to have a look to see if I could find information about the threads here. And what I did is I come down here and go into your main release announcements. And if you go into your main release announcements, you'll notice that they don't actually have anything on the pre-releases here. Now, if you've been following my screen here, you know that at some level they have them down here somewhere. I have no idea how to get to the screen, but I didn't know RC2 had come out. Apparently it did. And I spent all day today trying to get RC1 installed, and I had some serious problems with it. I am pleased to announce that all of the installation issues with Linux Lite 8 has been resolved with RC2. While I wanted to do this on real hardware, I spent my entire day, and then I just spun this up into a virtual machine just to make sure it works. And so we're going to look at this release in the virtual machine because, yeah, I started working on this at like 11 today. So, I wanted to get a video out for you guys much earlier. And, of course, I've been trying to do them the day before as well, but yesterday was just too busy. So anyway, let's have a brief look here. Some changes that they have. Obviously, they're running with a boost of Ubuntu 26.04, which I will note does have ads in the terminal. I might just do a video about that sometime soon. We have XFCE with Lite DM. We have the Linux kernel 7, and they actually have a new Linux kernel manager. There's some basic changes, which are obviously just upgrading software to latest versions and things like that. What we want to have a look at mostly here is the new applications. They did come back to Firefox. They were running, I think it was Google Chrome for a while. They're back to Firefox. They have a new distro builder. There's a new about system, a new system monitor. This is the performance kernels, so you can have a specific kernel specifically for something like gaming or things like that. There's a light core to strip your system down if you want to. And then there's some terminal changes in there as well. Now, RC2 came out and they made a ton of changes inside of this. So apparently the RC1 apparently had some problems. RC2 came out and actually fixed the main problems that I had with it, including hopefully some of the issues here. So you can see it on here, yeah. Fix Grub live boot menu. Yeah, there were some problems with Grub before. In fact, there were even some challenges I had with their partitioning here. Let me find their partitioning. Their recommended partitioning itself, because I eventually noticed that the RC1 was installing with most of the disk being free space. It was literally only creating an EFI partition. And then they get down here and they give you your recommended partition layout. Even this caused problems because of this first line here, the 8 megabyte ext4 BIOS grub flag. This itself also caused a problem. I eventually got it installed by running just these two partitions here, and everything installed perfectly. And so other than I didn't get a username prompt the first time, or maybe I just, after 37,000 times of trying to install this, maybe I just put in something and forgot what I put in. I can't remember. But anyway, all that has been fixed with RC2. And with that, I just want to go ahead and have a look at what this looks like here and just have a look at those new softwares. So obviously the first thing you can do, you can install updates, which I've already did. They have a driver installer as well, which is going to look for drivers. It should not find any, but we'll go ahead and wait for it to finish its thing there. You can see here that, there's working hardware. Oh, that's just stuff that's already working. So there's no drivers that we need to install. So that's good. You can do restore points. You can do language stuff. You can do EFI with Secure Boot if you want. And then there is a light theme and a dark theme option here as well. We'll go ahead and continue in the dark theme for the rest of the video. You can also go ahead. This is actually all 4 of those items all at once really quick. So that is what is on your startup screen. So we'll go ahead and close that down. Now, what I've always liked about Linux Lite is it does have a lot of extra tools. They've added a few ones here. So the first thing I'm going to point out is a couple that are not here in the Linux Lite menu. The first of those is the kernel manager. You can see the Lite kernel manager. For some reason, it's not in the administration window here, but this will allow you to come over here. You can run benchmarks. There is, you can install desktop kernel from the repository or install gaming kernel. And once you click one of these buttons, you're committed to install it. So I'm not going to go ahead and click the button here, but this will install different kernels specific to different profiles and things, which the gaming one will speed up performances for gaming. Desktop one will give you, I guess, a little bit more support for whatever you're doing there. But you have a nice new tool there. You have a remove kernel system here as well, so you can actually do a lot of fun stuff there. The other thing that they have is a light system monitor. So this one here is pretty nice looking. We can see our RAM, we can see our CPU, disk network, GPU, and sensors. And then, of course, you can look at your processes, your users, startup things, and stuff like this. So this is a really nice little system tool for this. So you can see here's the basic information about the system itself. And I think that's the only ones there. The other one I'll point out is the About Light. I think this is supposed to say Light About, as they have described in their documentation, but instead it says About Light. I'm not sure. This will give you your system information, so your processes, your RAM here. Remember, this is in a in a virtual machine here, so we're not seeing the full glory of the system, but that's what you have. Now they also have this Light Core is one of the new tools here. The Light Core allows you to come in and strip your system down. Now, the way many Linux distributions will work is you might have, I don't know why they didn't make that dark theme, but okay, that's bright. Many distributions like Ubuntu, you can select just the core basics and then, or you can do one with a full build. This one doesn't do that. Everything's just a single build with all the full things. And then you can remove the stuff that you don't want later. That does come with the downside of all these applications may come with configuration files. And I don't know if the configuration files are removed with this tool. But this is, you can select what you might not want. This computer doesn't have Bluetooth, so I could remove that. And then once you have everything selected you want to remove, just hit remove selected and it will get rid of those. We also have the software tool. This is not a new one, but I do want to double check if this works. That's right. I'm on my super secret password. That's definitely not 123. So this one here, you have your Lite software. You can install software, and this is going to show you a list of all the software available from your repository. Maybe you want to install something like Audacity or Simple Screen Recorder or Zoom, things like that. You can go ahead and install anything you want easily from this tool here, or you can go back and you can hit remove software as well. And Firefox comes pre-installed. I don't know why that's the only thing here that's not for that you can remove. I'm not sure about that. The other thing that they have is this is the new tool that they have, the Lite Distro Builder. This will allow you to create an ISO based on the modifications that you've done to your system, very much like the same thing that MX Linux has. So this would allow you to, if you're like in a work environment, to install this, tweak it up for your company, maybe throw your company logo background on there, install specific software, set up certain firewalls, configurations, and then you can save this ISO file and then deploy this massively across a number of different systems. So this is actually a really good tool to have for a new system in here. And then let's see what else is new in this. I thought there was one more that was new. If there is, though, I cannot remember what it is. You can do some tweaks over here. This is nice here. You can clear the memory. You can preload applications. Just a number of different things. You can change number lock status, screen sessions, logins, logouts, things like that. So there's a number of different tools that you have available inside of your system here. And that's what has always made Linux Lite work really well, is that it has the tools that make it feel like a full system that's easy to manage and things. And hey, now that this has actually installed itself properly, I'm actually pleased to see that. As far as the software this will have, this is everything in that settings panel we just looked at, just in a list. The basic accessories, we have some things that some people might really like, and some people might say this is kind of bloat, which is why you can uninstall many of them. We do have USB image writers and stick formatters. And then over here we have Paint, we have GIMP pre-installed. We do have the full LibreOffice suite. Here's your web browser, your mail client. CD burner still comes with it. VLC is your default media player, and then of course you can pull up LibreOffice. And I don't know if this is a change LibreOffice has done or if they've done it, but they set it up in the ribbon layout here. Not to my particular fancy, but for those that want the ribbon layout, I guess it does make sense to have this if you're looking at bringing people in from Microsoft Office. Of course, if you like the older way, you can go ahead and change your user interface, and you can do your single toolbars, tab toolbars, things like that. Let's apply to all. That way you can go back if you happen to like this way better. And I still like this older school way of doing it. Just so you're aware, you can go ahead and make those changes. And this is something that you can do. You could always have done this for a long time. And it is getting better and more consistent with Microsoft Office. But for those that are interested in that. So those are the tools available in the system here as well. So my overall take on this, here's preferences. You can set your preferences. You can do twice a day, always, every hour, every 8 hours, daily, weekly, or never. So you can actually run your updates whenever you want. I think there's one update that for some reason will not install on my system right now. And I'm not quite sure why. I keep on typing in like my secure password, not my super secret password. That's definitely not 123. Here it is. Okay, that does actually say it is up to date. You'll notice it still does say that there's updates to install, but there seems to be one in the system that isn't updating itself. The system itself does come with a wiki file here. This will take you over to the Linux Lite wiki. And this is really useful information for you if you are new to Linux. This is one of the things that always made Linux Lite a really good distribution for new users, because it does have a lot of information about your system, how it works. Here's how to install it all. Here's your guide on software. So you have getting software, installing software, uninstalling software. So you can actually see this has a lot of really cool tools. Of course, you notice it is a website, so it does rely on an internet connection in order to gain. But that is what we see with Linux Lite. So this is overall a really nice system. The RC2 have fixed the majority of things I was going to complain about in RC1. So I'm very pleased to see that the distribution did come out with the same general expectations I've always had as a really good distribution. So let me know your thoughts about Linux Lite in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.